It's very interesting. When you get a chance, check out this guy named Kevin Samuels.
Right.
Boy, that's my
Right.
boy. That's my boy.
We have conversations about him,
Kevin
like,
Samuels. Like, I
Yo.
started indulging into a lot of this content recently.
I'm telling you, man,
Like,
it's a phenomena in and of
Yeah.
itself because number one, you don't see a black man speaking up like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You usually see guys leaning more towards the Derek Jackson brand
mm,
of relationship
yeah.
talk, which is very catering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
female
in
pandering.
essence, right?
Yeah,
Not that
yeah.
not that one
Yeah.
person can't be right and one person can't be wrong,
Right.
or we can't talk honestly about things. But after about the fifth video or so, you start to recognize there's a trend here.
right.
Yeah.
And then to have something so oppositionary in the form of Kevin Samuels, who's like, no, y'all ain't the prize, and no, sometimes y'all are wrong, and y'all don't know how to treat men properly.
That's my boy. That's
Look
my
it up.
boy.
Man, listen, I just had a great idea. We got to get all three of them on camera one day. Just have a banter and debate between all three of them.
Listen, and that's kind of why I'm really digging Clubhouse right now.
Yeah.
This new social media app because it's no video, just conversation. And literally you can be connected to these types of people in ways you never would have before.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think a lot of times we often label things as something toxic, something misogynistic because number one, our feelings are hurt. And number two, because we aren't used to thinking about things in a different way outside of groupthink. We are living in a feminine time where women have voices now. Women have power. And I'm not saying that trivially. I'm saying that when you look at the history of things, men have created the systems that we live in today. We are also not used to hearing a lot of women speak in the way that they speak or even live in the way that they want to live with their sexuality or, making that bub. And so there's a lot of different dynamics at play. I don't want to just say all women are wrong because their feelings are hurt. And I don't just want to say that all men are right because we're confident in what we're
Right.
saying.
Even though a lot of us aren't confident, but just reflecting our insecurities outwardly.
Right. And I think we just need a space where we are free to have disagreements without that being a judgment on our character.
Okay.
But speaking on Kevin Samuels, because I asked you this on Twitter and you never answered me. What do you think about that? What do you think about that whole debacle? Because I've had, when that happened, like top of the summer, I've had many conversations with women like since then. And like that's even triggered up his brand to where he shifted his whole deployment mode and what he talks about and like everything around his business and things like that.
Yeah. So like I was watching a video of his. It probably was the holiday weekend that we just came out of. And I was like, man, okay, Kev. I was cool with that viral video where you rated the girl and then you kind of rode that wave. But it seems like, okay, everything now
It's
is
a
about
trend and it's negative.
modern women aren't this. Okay. Modern
Right.
women are failing. Modern women are dying alone. And I'm like, okay, I understand the narrative. That's cool and all. But we got to edify this in a way that makes sense to not just one particular truth, but many truths that coexist.
Right.
Because I think what social media does a great job on is we isolate one truth and we separate it from the other truths that make that one truth make more sense. If that makes sense.
Right.
Right?
If we understand that
Yeah.
everything is connected, then nothing is in a vacuum.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when we isolate things like that, while we get to do a deep dive into the pathology of something or even understanding how something works, we're doing ourselves a disservice because the deeper in we get, the more blinded we become. And the more blind you become, the more you have to rely on your feelings to guide you. And once you are relying on your feelings to guide you, that's no longer a productive conversation. That's a conversation that's based in past hurt. That's based in maintaining peace as opposed to being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that because like, it's like, hey, with him, as I started looking at a lot of his content, like when he catch a wave, he like to ride the wave. So it's a
You
video.
riding that, bro.
Well, it's a video like 2018 where he gets on men like, yo, you got to take pride in yourself and like your
Right.
parents or whatever, and you want to do this and that, and or okay, should men cut their hair to get a corporate job and things like that? So
Right.
but for the most part, it was like refreshing to hear because I never
was.
heard a
It
man
was.
sort of look to women and jump in that Shark Tank with blood on me.
I'm telling you, man, if
Say,
there ever was a
like,
dude who
go.
wanted to smoke, it was him.
Yeah.
He did things that would cost people their social media following, man. They
Yeah.
dragged. I mean, they would have to create a new word.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
But like, he just got bigger. Like,
Yeah, he just got bigger. But I think what he did the same thing Trump did.
Go
he
to a
gave,
base.
he gave a voice to those that never had it before.
Mhm.
And so the overwhelming
Feminine,
wave,
like, yeah.
you know, that was something that people hadn't seen in such a long time. But no, men have been sitting on their feelings and opinions about a lot of stuff.
Right.
Just being silent.
And they were waiting for that access. And Kevin Samuels kind of
To
ushered it
champion
in,
him, right?
you know, and chose violence.
Because
You
I
woke
watch,
up and
I
chose
watch
violence.
a broadcast. Like he comes on IG live sometimes, and he doing this whole thing where he is trying to like match because he's a matchmaker.
Right.
So he's trying to match like high value women with high value men. So he like, yo, if you like, I'm not taking no man lower than 29, and you got to make this because these women want this, and I take in women that like 8, 9s, and 10s, and not this,
Right.
and then trying to create an atmosphere for these people to mix because everybody's saying we're the good women, we're the good men. So I'm like, I'm catering to that high society
Bridging that gap.
crowd or whatever, and women come on. Well, I'm a 10, and he would be like, so if you a 10, what is Beyonce and Kelly Rowland?
Right.
If you telling me you a 10, so you on their level. So like, you know, it was like, you know, but I like the fact that he be telling people that, you know, you need therapy.
I love that.
Yeah, like you need therapy. Like if you have any hurt or feel any insecurity, you need to go to a therapist, analyze yourself, and then start building on top of that.
I love how he stays respectfully in his lane, and he says this.
I'm not a therapist.
Yeah. He says, I do what I do. I'm an image consultant,
Mhm.
right? And he keeps his truth right where it needs to be.
Mhm.
Right? Like, see, someone like me would often be given the devil's advocate question. So why you don't do more of that type of stuff?
Mhm.
Right? At the end of the day, I'm a therapist.
Mhm.
I'm trying to help people better the quality of their lives by empowering them to take control over what it is. A guy like Kevin Samuels is like a top-down guy,
Mm.
where he takes things for what they are. Not for what you want it to be, not for what we should be doing, but here's what it is. Men have penises. We're visual creatures. If you skinny, you got tits, you got backside, we on you.
Mm.
Mhm.
But I take it from the down up approach to say the culmination of our experiences and the pressure of our society and, you know, the family that we come up in has led us thinking in a lot of ways. If we can change the way we think, maybe we can change the way we act. And if we can change the way we act, maybe we can get a different solution.
That's true.